it clap.
Rooftop party, we get naughty. Go, 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 go.
Make it clap.
Rooftop party, we get naughty. Go, 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 go.
Make it clap.
Rooftop party, we get naughty. Go, 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 go.
Make it clap.
Rooftop party, we get naughty. Go, 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 go.
Make it clap.
Rooftop party, we get naughty. Go, 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 go.
Make it clap.
Rooftop party, we get naughty. Go, 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 go.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of all races and coming everywhere from Southeast Asia right now. Today is the day we've all been waiting for because today is the finals for the RAZER C Invitational 2022. This is going to be epic because it will now go to Indonesia versus the Philippines as our final showdown for today. But before that, of course, we are also in the battle for the third and fourth place. That will be Philippines versus Vietnam. So let's all put on our seatbelts, get your popcorns, get your drinks. It's going to be one hell of a roller coaster ride for all of us here in the RAZER C Invitational. Keep shouting, screaming, and just, rooting for your team, for your regions. Give them the morale boost that they need, the confidence that they can make it out on the top today here in the RAZER C. And of course, everyone's here duking it out for the 30,000 USD prize pool given to you by RAZER, presented by RAZER, by gamers and for gamers, and of course sanctioned by the SEA Games Federation and organized by Tier 1 Entertainment. Everybody, thank you so much for making this happen, and hello to everybody who's watching the live stream right now. Once again, this has been Aya as Maria. I've been hosting the entire tournament since day one with my fellow caster slash co-host here on the stream, BK and Ingan Nation. It's been a really, really bumpy but exciting ride. And thank you so much for having us. And of course, today is also the announcement of the giveaway winner for the RAZER Phone Cooler Chroma, the RAZER Kishi, and the Hammerhead True Wireless Pro RAZER Phone Cooler and the RAZER Kishi in a bundle. So don't go away yet. Please be here the entire show because we'll be announcing the winner, the lucky winners for tonight. And of course, don't forget to use the code Invitational C 2022 as your discount for the razers.com as you purchase or you check out with your favorite products. So this is all by RAZER. Thank you so much. RAZER is helping you gear up for the competition and looking for that next esports mobile gaming star. Gain the winning edge for mobile gaming. Use the code that will appear at the bottom of the screen, the stream every now and then. Again, you can use it for razor.com. Check out to secure this limited time deals. And I will not hold you guys back any longer. I will not prolong you guys being at the edge of your seats because now it's time for the battle of the third and the fourth place. Philippines versus Vietnam. Let's get our casters in from the Philippines, Burger Kim and Indonesia. Let's rock and roll.
Back at it once again, and this is the grand finals day. You got Burger Kim and Ingen once again at your service, being your shoutcasters for this very final day. It has been a great ride, and I feel like I will miss this 2 weeks. Like Ingen, and everyone else behind this RAZER Invitational. I'll be really, really how should I say this? It's called separation anxiety. There's a shortcut to that in the bank. So, Ingen, for this very, very first series of the day, it's going to be a battle for the third place, and it's going to be Philippines and Vietnam. So I believe our players are already on the drafting phase. So let's get to it already.
Your team is picking.
Right now, the Philippines selecting once again. They're ever so reliable. Matilda may be in the hands of Docman, might be in the hands of Rage as well. But Vietnam answers with their very own Esmeralda. You may have skipped the banning phase, usual respect bans for the side of Vietnam. They indeed banned Valentina, the usual bans, as well as Philippines Patito and Docman's show. So they picked up the Matilda. But for the side of Vietnam, the specialty Beatrix picked up once again the vital element in securing a win against Philippines as they were able to do a backdoor with that Beatrix.
Yeah, Beatrix. And now will the Philippines, they still don't have a mid laner here for Vietnam. So can the Philippines or will the Philippines actually bring out a Cecilion or maybe even a Lilia for Rage? I mean, we've known Rage to bring out the Veil, to bring out the Nana yesterday. So will Rage just stick with these meta picks instead? But it is going to be, I am already loving this. And it is the Lancelot for Choco and the Lunox, the classic Lunox for Toshi that has secured them so much victory. So Philippines, they already mean business with this type of composition. So the Lunox to go up against the Beatrix. And as for Vietnam, they are hovering over this Harriage, which we haven't seen in the previous patches, but it has been buffed up in this recent one that was released just a few days ago. So let's see how this will pan out. It is also a late game insurance here for the side of Vietnam. If they do decide to go for this, will it be a Harriet jungler or will it be a Harriet gold laner or maybe even a mid laner? We'll never know. Actually, it's so flexible right now. I mean, I haven't seen a Harriet for a long time, but I feel like Vietnam might just, stick with the meta picks instead, going for Joe's or rather Bronze's Ruby instead to do the setups here. So for Vietnam, they already have the side lane and the gold lane, and now it is a contest once again for the mid laner, Ingen.
I actually love this Lunox pickup. Philippines known for using this Lunox. They could have used it yesterday, maybe things turned around differently if they listened to BK and actually picked up a Lunox of their own. Maybe they could have advanced, but it is what it is. But now Philippines out here with a vengeance for the first time, securing a Lancelot as well. Such deadly combination. You have Matilda, Lancelot, and now Toshi's Lunox. It might be
Lunox,
actually a
yeah.
gold late. Yeah, since Toshi is hovering over this Lunox. But on the other side, Vietnam wanting to control the clashes once again with that pickup of Ruby as well as the Falling Star Moon coming in for Esmeralda. They want to counter out Philippines' aggression. The Philippines' isolated clashes, they want to counter it out by having that Esmeralda and Ruby and successfully banning Yuzhong Clint. But for the side of the Philippines, you don't want to give away Lilia
Lilia.
for the
And a
opposing team.
Sicilian,
We've seen
actually.
it. Yeah. Imagine we've seen it with Oh My Jenny yesterday. That Lilia was such an amazing pick. Early game pick-offs, sustain, and a lot of bursting capabilities early to mid-game up until the late game. So good bad for the side of the Philippines, but they proceeded with banning the Ling as well, BK.
Oh, that is okay. That's really interesting. Vietnam picks up the Veil for themselves, leaving Rage here with, I guess, the Sicilian if they want to go for the mid lane. I mean, I was expecting Vietnam to take in the Sicilian since the Philippines didn't ban that away, but they going for the Veil. Yeah, great crowd control here. A lot of surprise plays as well if you are a Veil, but the Philippines already also solidifying their draft with the direct counter as well to the Esmeralda, the Dirot, and the Hayabusa for their final pick. So this is quite interesting. This is a roamer. Okay, it is a support Hayabusa, which I haven't seen. Okay, the last time I've seen this was back 2 seasons ago of major tournaments, right? So now we are seeing Rage on the Hayabusa. I feel like they are kind of, mirroring what Thailand is doing. Okay, this is wow, so much flexibility in the map, so much vision as well with this Hayabusa. Possible assassinations on TIT as well as TNTK. So Rage, knowing the Veil very well, it's his favorite hero. He also knows the possible counters or the possible setups that a Veil could have. So this is quite interesting, and it's not even the grand finals yet.
You actually predicted this yesterday that in the preliminaries, they use the usual meta picks. They use they go the safe route. But when it comes to the playoffs, when it comes to the placing battles, they will dish out the new metas.
Yes.
And right now, Philippines dishing out a 2 assassin meta for their side against Vietnam. And as for Vietnam, giving the Philippines a taste of their own medicine, specifically Rage picking up Veil for their own squad. So right now, game 1 for Battle of the Third, you're right once again. But I know I'll also be right since I predicted this game will be exciting.
I love how you put it that way. I got the predictions right, but of course, you got how it'll feel like. It is going to be quite interesting to see this Hayabusa go around. I'm not so sure how they'll pull this off though, because Hayabusa, as you all know, it needs the purple buff, especially since it's revamped. So Dogman on this Rage rather on this Hayabusa with a high and dry emblem, but Dogman a little bit too early here on the engage, a little bit too early on the poke. He does have the flicker in the nick of time, but Bronze also has the flicker and takes him down, and now Rage is next on the chopping board, will be able to escape that, but it is still Vietnam with a great start, punishing Dogman with that early aggression.
Vietnam knows that the Philippines will try to go for that delay in the purple buff. So what they did was TNTK was actually staying in the purple buff along with 2 members of Vietnam, trying to prevent that, invasion. But luckily, fortunately for the side of Vietnam, they got the purple buff as well as the first blood kill on Dogman's Matilda. So, this is very vital since Matilda's really, really aggressive, but now he has to think, he has to make sure that what he does is actually beneficial for the Philippines. I mean, it did bought time for the side of the Philippines, but not quite worth it, as there is now a 500k gold swing for the side of Vietnam. But now Joe going in for the kill against Dogman. Toshi dishing a lot of damage against Bronze as TIT continuing to push out the lanes here in the top lane. Very aggressive start for Vietnam, but Dogman not in a good position once again. What an aggressive Joe so far. Joe really wants to go for the 3rd place right now. He knows they deserve to be in the finals, but it is what it is, and now they just want to secure a 3rd place win for their side.
Yeah, this is the battle once again, ladies and gentlemen, for the third and fourth place. But of course, the placements are still very much important as the Philippines gets the first turtle of the game. And now I do want to talk about Rage on this Hayabusa with the high and dry emblem that can go all around the map. I mean, it is not going to be easy to clear out the lane. I mean, up against TNTK's Veil. So now it is. I'm really waiting to see Rage on this Hayabusa to do in the pickoffs. But I feel like Joe will not be able to take down Rage there. But on the top side, though, take a look at Dogman and Toshi putting in a lot of pressure on TIT. So I think the plan here of the Philippines is to just poke at the members of Vietnam. And once someone is critically low, either Choco or Rage can go in. Like Rage has the execute here and has the high and dry emblem. So they can definitely pull off those assassinations or solo kills here on the members of Vietnam.
You know, I'd agree that the Philippine strategy is to utilize those pokes. They have a lot of poking heroes because what they know Vietnam is capable of a lot of clashes right now. As TIT going in for the TIT brought down by the Circling Eagle as well as Toshi. I'm offended will not connect against the side of the Philippines. But right now, good two-man rotation for the Philippine squad as they take down TIT. TIT not a good start so far, 0-1-0. And as I was mentioning, I do agree with the strategy that you predicted for the Philippines. They have to rely on the pokes since, you know, if you deal out a lot of damage, initial damage from the start, Vietnam, although they could initiate clashes, they could crowd control, they couldn't sustain the damage output of the Philippines since the pokes already started as Dogman once again with a Circling Eagle going right after Bronze, but a knockup coming in from TNTK. Not enough to save Bronze for another kill for the side of the Philippines. However, Joe got a solo kill there against Kirk in the bottom lane. So good trade for both sides as both sides right now utilizing and capitalizing on the resources they have.
Yep, a lot of gold plating once again on Choco and Rage. These are the types of situation wherein you see it in either ranked games. There are two assassins. You're kind of surprised, like, are they fighting for the jungler position? But in this case, guys, it is Rage really on a support Hayabusa. And right now, the Philippines is leading with a 2k gold lead, obviously, because they have gotten one tower. They also got in this turtle. But right now, I feel like they really have to control TIT on that top side. They have been getting a lot of good solo kills on either Bronze, maybe even Meow. But now, it is the Philippines a little bit more disciplined this time. They know when to engage. They know also when to disengage. A little bit different from what we've seen in the previous games. But I'm really, oh my goodness, this is really a damage Hayabusa going for the War Axe first. And the cooldown boost just to spam out the skills. But in terms of Rage, you know, you do have to give it to Vietnam as well. So the Philippines, again, I have to say they must finish this early on, because if this gets a little bit too late once again in terms of the Rage and in terms of the items, TNTK already got the Clock of Destiny, so it might be a little bit difficult to deal with those heroes in the backlines like TIT as well as TNTK. But here comes the Philippines again with the re-engaged Circling Eagle here onto TIT. Will be able to survive, and with the shower, the bullet shower there, almost taking down Kirk, but Kirk forced to pop in that ultimate and will be taken down with the Ritter snipe kill by TIT as the Vietnam wins that trade. And now Dogman is forced to retreat, but take a look at the minions as well on the bot side pushing in the towers. So Philippines and Vietnam right now, still Philippines leading this one, but it could still go either way. So we still don't know, as Vietnam is struggling a little bit on taking the objectives here like the turtle. It has been the Philippines getting it twice already.
Good map awareness there for Joe to actually turn things around. The potential death from TIT, what turned into a Kirk shutdown right there. The Abyssum Strike did connect, but for some reason, no damage whatsoever. Joe doing wonders for the side of Vietnam. And I actually like the Philippines gamble here with going in with that Hayabusa mid laner, although he's at a disadvantage compared to TNTK's Veil when it comes to lane clearing. But for tower pushing though, Rage doing a lot of tower pushes here as he was able to take down a tier 3 tower in the bottom lane, as Lancelot will take that turtle for the side of the Philippines, going right after
Bronze.
I am offended, close connect, but the Thorn Grows will do the job to finish him off, as well as Meow with the Falling Star Moon connecting against 3 members. Phantom Execution to TIT, Thorn Grows as well, but not enough to shut down TIT,
Oh,
and now
Toshi.
Choco is in full retreat, but Toshi on the other hand, go right after Esmeralda. Abyssal Strike will hit against Joe. Nowhere to go. Joe, what a kill for the Philippines. 3-1 clash there for the side of the Philippines with a 4K gold swing, and now they will try to bring down the tier 3 tower in the top lane.
A little bit cleaner this time for the Philippines. I mean, look at the taunts coming in from Vietnam, but this is the first time I've seen the Philippines not responding. They're just, doing what they do best, which is kills. I'm actually wondering why Choco didn't bring this Lancelot out yesterday. And it was because they were saving it for the possibility of bringing it out in the grand finals. That's really what you want to do. Save your best picks for the grand finals, and so far Choco is doing quite well on this Lancelot, getting in the assist and getting in a lot of turtles. But of course, the Philippines, with the map control that they have to finish this as soon as possible right now in the 8-minute mark. Perhaps push in the towers on the sides and then go for the mid lane. I mean, it's already a given that there will be a solid mid lane here for Vietnam, since there is a lot of wave clearing coming in from TNTK's Veil. So now the Philippines and Vietnam, they have to look for those isolated pickoffs on the top side. Meow goes down on the hands of 3, and the Philippines still winning this one. But on the mid side, though, again, it is a different story. No casualties, fortunate enough. But here comes the entire cavalry of the Philippines. Knocked up by the Veil! Knocked up by TNTK. Takes down Kirk. But fortunately, Dogman was able to pop up that guiding wind to be able to escape that one. So, wow, did you see the damage coming in from TNTK? Absolutely insane on this Veil. And if you look at his items, Clock of Destiny going to the Genius Wand. So it's a matter of time. If they are able to get that proper placement on the Veil's ultimate, it will be deadly. But Philippines says no this time. They will go for the Lord instead in the 9-minute mark.
TNTK with a beautiful knockup, as well as the ult coming from TIT, but the Philippines will get this first Lord here in the 9-minute mark. And as you were mentioning, Choco didn't release that Lancelot in the previous series for the semifinals. I mean, Brad actually used the Lancelot twice against the Philippines, and now Choco knows how to counter it, knows how to respawn, and using Lancelot for themselves, as well as TNTK using the Veil for themselves against the Philippines at the clash.
Abyssal Strike!
Two here in the middle lane. Abyssal Strike will finish off Ruby as well as Esmeralda. 3 for no casualty clash once again for the side of the Philippines, and they still have the Lord marching in here in the top lane as members will continue to dish out damage in the tier 3 tower in the mid lane, as well as the tier 2 tower. TNTK with the knockup, they're forced to defend their base once again, but I think this inhibitor tower will fall in the hands of the Philippines right now. But what I am offended by Bronze, as well as that falling Star Moon will connect. But look at the sustain once again from Kirk, especially since the Philippines has a 10k gold lead. That was such a good initiation. I mean, I am offended. Falling Star Moon, but Kirk says that's not enough to bring me down. I am still standing.
Yep, Kirk already on a Malefic Roar. Kirk, Rage, and Choco with the Malefic Roar. So this means that every time there is a clash or there is a possible assassination here on the side of Vietnam, it will be really additional physical penetration, especially since there are a lot of heroes here that needs the protection. TIT, TNTK, and you include Joe there that barely has any, he only has the Brute Force breastplate, but up against a Malefic Roar, that is going to be deadly. So, wow, the Philippines, if they manage to secure this game number 1, I have to say that they are really the team with the uncontemporary picks, not just Thailand, right? Thailand rock in that Saber mid lane, and now the Philippines is saying that, yeah, we can also rock that Assassin mid lane, the Hayabusa here on Rage with the high-end Dry Emblem. And yeah, speaking of Assassins as well, this means I mentioned so much mobility here for the Philippines, which means that they can do a lot of split pushes. And if you noticed earlier on, when the Philippines got the Lord that was marching on the top side, it was Choco and Rage that were doing the side split pushes. Therefore, a lot of the lanes were already taken here for Vietnam, leaving only the inhibitors here left standing for Vietnam. So now Philippines once again a few more seconds before the Lord is up for the grabs, but I feel like this one definitely Vietnam has contest for this one.
I'd agree that the Philippines dishing out a new meta. I mean, two assassins as Choco once again with a kill against Bronze. But on the other hand, Philippines known for using that Putito, that Barat as their core, not relying so much on the assassins, but right now dishing out two at the same time as Choco with an uncontested Luminous Lord here as we approach the 13-minute mark. I mean, what are the Philippines doing? Are they saving all the assassins for the final series from no assassins
Maybe.
to two assassins in one game, doing wonders for the whole squad? I mean, Hayabusa, mid laner against a Veil with a powerful lane clearing. But look at all the towers of the Philippines still intact. They have all the Lord leading this game with a 12k gold lead, as well as another Lord thing for the side of the Philippines, forcing Vietnam to stay in their
this
base
could
despite
get nasty.
having a lot. Yes, indeed. Despite having a lot of sustain coming in from the side of Vietnam, they just couldn't handle the damage. As a circle eagle will connect until the base. Two Muxelis over there as Matilda was taken down.
Here comes Toshi! Here comes Toshi!
But Toshi with a beautiful execution, as well as the Thorn the Rose will connect two members of the Philippines against two members of Vietnam. 2-for-2 trade, but they were able to get two inhibitor towers for the side of the Philippines. That was a messy clash. That was a messy start for the Philippines, but for some reason, Toshi, as well as Choco, still going in for the kill with the phantom execution, as well as the Order of Brilliance to bring down Meow. And now, going in for the GG push with a 1-0 takedown against Vietnam.
Victory!
Oh my goodness. This is why you save these crucial picks for the grand final stage. The Philippines now fighting for the third spot in this game. Choco, we were wondering why you didn't bring this out yesterday. It was because you were saving it for the final day. Choco on this Lancelot with a 408 KDA, being the MVP of the game. Did you see that final Thorn Rose? Those combos just wiping out Vietnam entirely. So, wow, we did not expect this at all. Like, we were expecting the Philippines to go for a little bit more on the contemporary picks, but rocking this Hayabusa mid lane as well as the Lancelot for the Philippines, just showing us that really they deserve to be here in the battle for the third between Vietnam and the Philippines. But I have to give it to Vietnam as well. They have had their comfort picks, but of course the Philippines just really shocked us with this Hayabusa mid lane, and Choco's Lancelot with a fantastic performance. So what can you say, again? Save the best for the last.
All I can say is the Philippines could have done this yesterday and advanced to the final. Maybe some other time, but they're still proving their dominance. I mean, BK, you said someone will dish out a new meta. I never expected it to be a two-assassin meta here for the side of the Philippines. I mean, come on, Hayabusa and Lancelot, the two most grand heroes in the Invitational, going together in the same game. I mean, this was just the first game. I'm still expecting a lot of surprises, a lot of twists and turns, maybe a lot of epic comebacks, but still an exciting game. But right now, this is my prediction. I am predicting that what you predicted will happen. So if you got it right, I'll get it.
Yeah, you'll get it right, definitely. Well, we'll never know. That was just a wild guess, but I did mention it. Like in other tournaments as well, when you head into the grand finals, you definitely have to have something up your sleeves, something, a secret weapon that you want to put out. And I feel like this is it. This is the time for the Philippines. There's no other matches left. I mean, they have to fight for the third spot here in a very prestigious tournament like the RAZER Invitational. But you know what? I am completely surprised with how fast they were able to take towers. I mean, Rage was pushing on the bot side. Then you also have Toshi already being very solid on the gold lane. Then you also have Choco's mobility and Dogman's Matilda. So it was just really too much for Vietnam to handle. So Wow, Philippines, you still got one more, and it's going to be a match point this time, Ingen, for the Philippines and Vietnam as they battle it out for the third spot. But right now, we gotta pass it back to our host as well, Miss Aya Esmaria. Do you believe in saving the best for last?
Well, it did work for the Philippines, but I hope they could have used it earlier or yesterday during the semis, though they could have been in the finals right now battling against Indonesia. So it would be Philippines versus Indonesia probably, and that would be a sight to see. But yeah, anyways, they still, I think, if they still get this in the bag the next round or game number 2, they can potentially become the third place winners here in the RAZER C Invitational. And we were just all waiting for that Lancelot. And yeah, like BK and Ingen, we have the same sentiments. If he could have just used it yesterday, that Lancelot could have been a different story. But then again, it is what it is. We are here. This is the now. This is the present. And it's Myanmar versus Indonesia that we're going to see who will be fighting against each other for the finals. So it's going to be one heck of a day today, and I know everybody's just rooting for their teams. But for the meantime, please don't forget that we also have a code down below. It pops up every now and then. It's called, or the code name is Invitational C 2022, and it's something that you can use to up your game, when you purchase your product from razer.com upon checkout. And with these, amazing and very inspiring esports players coming from Vietnam, Philippines, Myanmar, and Indonesia who made it to the semis, we want, we don't want to miss the energy, the hype, everything's that's happening, and we want to be the best players that we can. And this is why RAZER came in to up our game, all of our game. May you be a casual gamer or a casual gamer aspiring to become the next esports gaming star someday. So let us all light up our immersion with the RAZER Hammerhead True Wireless with its 16.8 million colors by RAZER Chroma RGB, active noise cancellation, and its low latency gaming mode. You can always immerse yourself and get the best experience we all deserve in the gaming scene. So again, since this is a best of 3, there's one more game, but don't go anywhere. We will be preparing behind the scenes, and we'll be seeing you back here on the live broadcast of RAZER C Invitational. Welcome back again, guys, to the RAZER C Invitational Finals for the MLBB division. My name's Ai Maria, and today we've just witnessed Philippines versus Vietnam in the Battle of the Thirds, with Philippines taking the first win. But let's see if Vietnam can still retake that glory and turn things around for the next game. But if Philippines gets this in the bag, they will now be declared the third place here in the entire tournament of the RAZER C Invitational. So what is going to happen? And just in case, for those of you who just came in and wondering what is RAZER C Invitational, we featured top 10 teams in the Southeast Asia region to duke it out for the 30,000 USD prize pool that everyone's been fighting for. And of course, the title, the glory, and just earning that reputation in the gaming industry. And of course, this is sanctioned by Sea Games Federation and by RAZER, presented by RAZER, for gamers, by gamers, and organized by Tier 1 Entertainment. So don't go anywhere, brace yourselves, because here's now game number 2. And calling in our casters from the Philippines, Ian Nation and Burger Kim, assemble.
Locked and loaded for the last match of the day. Welcome back. Once again, my name is Burger Kim. Together with me is Ingen at your service for this not yet the final match, okay, but it is the match point for the Philippines in the battle for the third spot here in the RAZER Invitational Southeast Asia. We've seen them rock a Hayabusa mid lane in the first game. So now, I feel like there is a lot more in store. Well, not just the Philippines and Vietnam, but I feel like later also for the grand finals between Myanmar and Indonesia, we're going to be seeing more of that, because this is the stage we're in. You put in all those surprise picks already, because it is the final day for our invitational. So I'm really looking forward to see this next draft, and I believe our players are ready. Let's head on to the drafting phase. This is the match point between the Philippines and Vietnam, with Vietnam being on the blue side, meaning they have the advantage of the first pick. And now Vietnam, geez, respecting. Yeah. Yeah, this is what the Philippines should have done yesterday. But Vietnam already respecting the capabilities of Choco on this Lancelot. But we all know that Choco still has a lot of heroes, in store. So let's see what the Vietnam will actually take out first. I mean, the Lancelot had a spectacular performance. The show, of course, of Dogman, that is so beautiful to watch every time he does the Way of the Dragon, isolating the crucial heroes here for the side of Vietnam. But of course, the Philippines going for this Eve has been a repeat ban since they go for the dive setup. Philippines will have a difficult time going up against this Eve as well as the Valentina.
And if you're the Philippines, you're not at the advantage of the first pick, so it's your duty to ban those meta heroes like the Eve, the Valentina, the usual. And Vietnam now focusing on respect bans. I mean, targeting that Lancelot of Choco, chose Dogman, as well as Rage's Matilda. So right now, a lot of respect bans here for the side of Vietnam. But on the other hand, if even if you ban the Lancelot, we might have still the Hayabusa.
Paquito.
We can still rock the Paquito, the Barats. I mean, we also rock the Claude Jungler. So it's hard to go against Choco's heroes right now, because the Philippines can always rock any core. But on the other hand, Vietnam getting the comfort hero here of Choco with that Paquito.
The Paquito. I mentioned that this could be the possible hero for Choco. He has been using this Paquito for the longest time, but I feel like today the story is all about Vietnam stealing the comfort picks here of the Philippines. And so far in game number 1, it hasn't been it didn't give them the result that they wanted. So now Vietnam really a little bit different this time, going for the sustainable jungler, which is the Paquito. But once again, this could be a different story if the Philippines would pop up something different this time. The Lilia and the Edith as well. It was banned out in the first game, and here we go. They bring it out this time, Dogman. With the Edith, we know the setups that Dogman can do. The flicker in and the onwards combo can be really, really deadly. And you include Rage's Lilia as well in the picture. But of course, with the bans being this way, you also opened up the Zelina. So it is going to be Wow, pandemonium once again with these types of heroes. If you open them up, really, it is going to be a party in the battlefield. The Uranus as well for Miao, which seems to be a priority pick as well for Vietnam. So now, oh, will Toshi go for the Lunox? It will still be a great counter here for the Uranus. So I feel like the Philippines can go for that, but maybe they should prioritize perhaps some of the gold laners here. But that's the biggest question, really. What do you put out first? Will you put out the hero of Choco already in this early of a stage? Because it could possibly be a different story. But oh, they go for Esmeralda possibly up against the Uranus. Okay, but there is still the Lunox here to be that can be utilized by the Philippines in the gold lane. We've seen how Toshi played this, so it could possibly go that way. Final bans here for the two teams. For Vietnam, they are kind of solidifying this kind of dive setup, which is quite different from what they had in game number one, which was a front to back line composition.
Fighting dive for dive, fire against fire. I love it. The Selena, along with that Paquito and Uranus going up against Esmeralda, as well as Lilia and this Dockman Edith. I mean, the flicker, then Earth Shatter. You know, Dockman can rock anything. Just give Dockman a hero plus a flicker, and he'll do anything and everything he can to isolate even the most agile and versatile heroes in the land of the Dawn. So, this is so far gonna be a very aggressive start once again. A lot of isolated clashes. But on the other hand, right now, the Philippines has that Esmeralda. So, they also have a late game sustained hero that can front for Rage, for Toshi, as well as Choco. So it's good that they picked up the Esmeralda. But on the other hand, Paquito, a very, very, sustainable as well as a I was supposed to say something, but never mind. A hard, core that could really dish it out. I mean, punches after punches can dish out damage as well as take out damage of his own. But partner it up with the Selena. Oh my gosh, a lot of isolated clashes. Indeed, a lot of first blood pickups, a lot of. Whew, I'm so excited for this game. I'm just speechless so far.
Yeah, there is a lot of vision here for the side of Vietnam, but if you take a look at the bans as well, so many respect coming in from Vietnam, taking out the Hayabusa, taking out Yisun Shin as well, not to give them any vision in the map. So Vietnam, I do have to say that they have to solidify this early game, especially with TNTK's Selena that opens up the map a lot. But here they go. They don't go for the Lunos, but they go for the Kimmy to go up against the Esmeralda. So it is not going to be easy to go near, TIT on this Kimmy. So perhaps maybe Lolita perhaps for bronze, or maybe a Kufra, or maybe even thinking somewhat of a setter tag, but they're just they're just going to possibly go for the sustain instead. So they are going to go for the killer tank, the glue that can really, really isolate the members of the Philippines here, especially since their composition is built on the front to back line as well. And now Choco, for the first time, well, not the first time, but in so far, okay, this is the first time he brought this out. He has been using the Paquito, he has been using like different types of juggers, but the Ling for Choco, and we all know that it can answer out to the dives as well coming in from Vietnam. But if you talk about the late game, oh, the pokes coming in from these two marksmen on the side, and we know that Toshi is one of these the players actually that can dominate his lane. But as for Vietnam, they are looking for clashes as well. They have the glue to isolate the members of the Philippines. So I feel like the second game is really going to center on a lot of clashes, a lot of initiations as well. They have all the initiators here for both Vietnam and the Philippines. And like you, Ingen, I feel like I am also speechless here when it comes to the composition. And with a composition like this, I feel like both of these teams actually will just have to rely on the execution per team, right? I mean, you just have to trust your teammates to be able to execute well. But here we go, the match point between Vietnam and the Philippines.
I was wondering how would Choco infiltrate the backline if you have Bronze and Mia with that Uranus as well as that glue. But suddenly Choco picks up the Ling that can easily target those backlines despite whoever frontliner you face him with. So I love this Ling pickup, but he does have to watch out for the split as well as the Abyssal Arrow. So it's really going to be hard for Choco to, go right after those initiations, especially if you have a lot of stuns here like Joe and
Oh,
TNT, with the flicker. Corrosive Strike to dish out the stun and the damage that he needs to bring out Dockman for the first blood.
oh, did you see that aggressive flicker coming in from Bronze and TIT? All right, so we are actually having a little bit of um problems when it comes to the audio in game. So just please bear with us. We're trying our best. The production is doing their very best to fix that audio problem. But for now, you're gonna be hearing a lot of our voices for now. We're going to the second game, yeah, between Vietnam and the Philippines. You're not gonna be seeing, or you're not gonna be hearing rather the audios coming in game. So maybe just maybe, and we can do the sound effects. Pew pew ching ching.
Yeah, pew
Yeah,
pew.
wait, do you know that meme? Do you know that meme coming in from like TikTok, like the shing shing? I don't know if
I
you see that. The shing shing. I feel like we can do that. But wow. Yes, speaking of aggression, here comes the stick coming in from the crew. Shing shing. And out comes Coco with the tempest of blades as Kirk is doing his very best to zone away Joe from getting any further. But the Philippines right now off to a rocky start after that pick off on Dockman. Choco forced to use the tempest of blades rather this time. Still, no answer from the Philippines, but I feel like they can solidify this early game once again with this turtle take. Here comes TNTK. Here comes the stun. Woo! And Rage forced to pop in the black shoes as Vietnam will disengage. Still no turtle takes from both of these teams. Choco has reached that level 5 power spike. And now the biggest thing is the stuns coming in. The knockup as well. But Rage does not have the black shoes. But Dogman going for the re-engage onto TNTK as he is forced to back away. But here comes Choco. Shing Shing once again on this link. Takes down TNTK. Yeah, I know we're not good. We're not good with this really. But yeah, please do bear with us as Choco gets the first turtle of the game. Forces split here for Bronze. And Dogman goes in for the knockup. And Vietnam disengages.
Tempest of Blades. Shing shing.
Yeah, it does sound like that. I mean, I've tried using a link. It does sound like that. The shing 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 every time he goes in for those Tempest of Blades, goes in for the his second skill. I'm not so sure what it's called, but yeah, I mean, you can those are like images you can hear actually. Images you can hear.
Vietnam and the Philippines showing a lot of versatility, but on the side of the casters, I mean, BK showing that you can be a sound effects expert as well for Moonton right there with the Tempest of Blades as well as the Shing Shing. But on the other hand, did you see how Dockman saved the Rage with that Earth Shatter as well as the onward charge to stun TNTK for 3 seconds and turn things around with a pick-off finally coming from Choco to secure a kill for their side. I mean, Dockman, you don't just initiate, you also protect. That's how you rock a roamer. That's how you do it, Dockman. And I love it how he's doing things right now for the Philippines despite early on aggression from Vietnam with a 2-0. Now, because of that kill as well as the turtle take, Philippines has now an 800 gold lead and now an onward charge once again as well as the Earth Shatter. But the split will do the job to turn things around as well as the Wombo combo to bring down Choco. But the torn apart memory will it be enough to bring down Dockman? TIT flickering in to bring down the final damage needed to bring down Dockman.
Yeah, it is so difficult to position yourself here since there is double purify here from the side of the Philippines, but right after the sun, it is really so difficult to go in for the engages here for the Philippines. Every time they go in for a clash, it's either Choco or maybe even Rage that gets picked off here. Right after the purify, it's just really too much to handle coming in from this early game. This is what Vietnam has to solidify, and so far they are doing very well. Although the Philippines, they got 2 turtles, and right now they are looking again for a possible engage as Kirk. goes in for Joe, zoning him out, and the Philippines still getting the advantage or equalizing the gold lead that Vietnam has been getting so far from the kills that they have on the scoreboard. 4-1, but TIT on the bot side, no knock up. Here comes Dogman with the aggressive flicker in and the Earth Shatter taking down TIT. But here comes the Abyssal Arrow. Dogman will be able to escape that. Good call from the Philippines. Gold later out as the Philippines looking to equalize once again.
A beautiful flicker in Earth Shatter as they take down Joe. Turning things around once again. The Philippines showing that, CC can go head to head with durability. So, the Philippines, I love how they turn things around right now, clinging on to that 2.2k gold lead for the respective teams. But right now, Meow trying to survey the scene. Will he be able to steal that purple buff away from Choco? Not a good position here for Meow right now, as Choco being aggressive right now against this Uranus, but Dogman here trying to create a bush play. But it's hard to be a roamer if there is a Selena or maybe even a Popol and Coco who can place traps in the most precarious positions in the bush. So it's really hard to get those ganks, to get those plays if you have the Abyssal Trap, if you have the traps also coming in from Popol and Koopa. But right now, Choco being aggressive against Meow. What a good knockup once
nice
again from
Shatter.
Dogman to bring down Bronze as they take down a tier 1 tower here in the bottom lane. Yes, and pew pew pew. So wait, let me get this straight. Pew pew is for Beatrix, while Shing Shing
Yeah, it's
is
for Beatrix. Yeah, pew pew, shing shing. Oh, Toshi going for the full aggressive. Pew pew indeed. And another one for Toshi and goes for the snipe kill. But unfortunately, Vietnam has to back away from that. Pew pew. Yeah, actually, it can go for rage as well because if I'm not mistaken, that's what Lilia says every time she throws out the bomb. So, I don't know, guys. We're just playing with the sound effects. Please do bear with us. We're trying to fix the in-game audio. Once again, Philippines taking in this turtle. And after they equalize with that beautiful, beautiful Earth Shatter coming in from Dogman, they get the 4K gold lead over Vietnam. And this is where you see the Philippines' wrath. You can see it right now. They are on the full aggressive. And this time, they're a little bit more disciplined. But here comes Pia on the bot side. Pew pew from our Toshi. Goes in for the Renner and misses the snipe kill as Meow is forced to pop up that Radiance, and now looking to sustain this top lane as Rage, Toshi, and Dogman. They're looking to take this tower, but here comes TNTK as well. The Abyssal Arrows will be really crucial here as the tower will be chunked down really low, but Dogman, Rage is also on the backside, really dishing out so much damage from that Lilia. Wow, the Philippines right now, 3K gold lead. They have to look to take in more towers, but Jodo on the bot side taking down Kirk with a solo kill.
But right now, Joe's still going right after Rage. Rage forced to pop up that black shoes to disengage as the Abyssal Arrow will hit TNTK using the flicker to try and go after Rage, but Choco on the other hand defending his mid laner right now as they also protect the tier 1 tower in the middle lane as the Abyssal Arrow will hit against Dogman. Once again, the split will be casted, but not enough follow-up here for the side of Vietnam. And just so you know, just to lighten the mood for the 400 plus viewers here right now watching Vietnam against Philippines as Choco there killing TIT in the bottom lane. Guys, please comment below if you want the in-game sounds to come back, or are you satisfied with the BK sounds right now? So please share with us your thoughts.
I feel like I'm gonna get bashed here.
Listen to BK or the Mooncon in-game sounds, because right now I'm loving the Shing Shing and Pew Pew, and I know guys are also loving it, as well as the Falling Star Moon coming in from Kirk with the Earth Shatter. Primal Wrath will be dished out, but TNTK will be there to evade every single strike the Philippines will force out on Vietnam right now. Choco was there to steal out the purple buff from the Vietnam as both teams disengage.
6-7, and now the Philippines leading. They are also leading on the tower takes, and this is really what you get when you have a Beatrix in your composition. You can really push forward with the lanes, but I also do have to commend really what TIT is doing here. He has been pushing the lane so far on the bot side, but really the aggression coming in from Dogman and Rage, and Toshi gets the kill onto Meow. Take a look at all the ultimates being thrown there onto Meow. He's still not that tanky despite having the Dominance Eyes as well as the Oracle. And now the Philippines a little bit more disciplined here. And now having the Ling in their composition, they can really do the split pushes. Here comes Choco. Here comes Choco with the attempts of Blade. Shing here and there gets down TIT. And now Bronze is the next one on the chopping board as the Philippines, they are looking to take in more towers. This is a relatively fast game, as fast as their first one. And now they are looking to take this Lord. Once again, not yet the Luminous Lord, but this is the Philippines. Classic Philippines. They go in for the objectives once they see an opening, and this is it. The Philippines getting an uncontested Lord.
What another onwards as well as an earth shatter against Meow, but this time Meow was able to back away and sustain all the shing and pew pews here by VK. But one of the main problems of the Philippines is they can always control the early up until the mid game, but for some reason they have a hard time, finishing and capitalizing on the early lead that they have. So the challenge here for the Philippines is actually, sustaining and of course maintaining the lead that they have here to finish off this game as early as possible, because it's hard to go up against a Brody when it reaches its power spike, as another onward charge will connect against Meow. Primal Wrath will be charged. Meow continuing to dish out a lot of damage as well, sustained coming in for the side of the Philippines. But right now the Lord is indeed marching in the top lane. Will they be able to bring out an inhibitor towers? A two-man knock-up here will pursue for the side of the Philippines. Back shoes will be popped here for Riggs. They couldn't bring down the tower, but what if from Toshi, the range from Toshi, the pew for Toshi will be enough to bring down an inhibitor tower as they now refocus on the tier 1 tower here in the middle lane. Falling Star Moon will be casted, but not enough to dish the damage that they need as they bring down an inhibitor tower in the top lane and now forced to disengage. They know they couldn't finish it right now, so they will have to wait for that first Luminous Lord.
Yeah, with the range that the Philippines has right now, it is a little bit more better with their previous compositions. And right now, they bring out the Edict of Dogman. I mean, Dogman has always had a very rocky start, going in for the aggressive plays and always gets punished. But now, Dogman, with the aggression that he is showing, the Flicker in and the Earth Shatter combo is really quite detrimental to Vietnam. Every time he goes in, it's kind of like a jawhead. You go in for the ejector, then you go in for a sure kill, especially since knowing that Rage and Toshi is on the backside. Really, Philippines not even giving the purple buff here to Joe. But speaking of Joe, he is already quite difficult to deal with every time he goes in for the knockup strikes from the Paquito. He has the War Axe, the Hunter Strike, as well as the Bloodlust Axe. So this is really one combo from this Paquito on any of the quote-unquote squishy members here of the Philippines will be a possible sure kill. But here comes Kirk with the Falling Star move onto Bronze, forced to pop in the split to back away from the fight 30 seconds before the Lord is up. The Philippines, they have already solidified the fact that they have control all over the map right now. One more Lord could possibly do the trick here, but the Philippines a little bit more disciplined this time. Take a look at Dogman, Rage, and Toshi already positioning themselves here in the Lord pit.
Yes, indeed. And actually, Vietnam, it was Brody, or TIT rather, who was pushing the lanes before split pushing. But right now, they're forced to have Meow actually pushing or clearing out the lanes because, Choco can always be anywhere at any time. So it's hard for TIT to go out and actually push, especially if you're relying on TIT to deal out most of the damage here for the side of Vietnam. But the Philippines, good discipline, good split pushing, good pushing for the side of the Philippines as an uncontested Luminous Lord will fall in the hands of the Philippines. And now they know that they have the position. They have like 90% or 80% of this match in the bags. That's why the taunts are out. But you know what happens if you taunt? Things might turn around like what happened against Myanmar. So Philippines, please do your best in finishing the job, making sure to secure that win and just, deal with the taunts later, as Kirk here charging the Falling Star Moon. But the Abyssal Arrow will connect against Rage here, but the Earth Shatter will do enough damage to zone out the remaining members of Vietnam.
Just
as
look
Toshi
at
continuing
Toshi.
to go for the objective. Still go. Look at the damage from Toshi against the
Yeah.
Lao as they bring down an inhibitor tower. A concealed play here for Dockman.
Oh,
Choco goes
Dockman!
in for the kill,
Ooh,
as well as the
nasty.
Falling Star Moon will connect to bring out the most tanky player here for the side of Vietnam. Meow's Uranus nowhere to be found. Out of the equation as an ejector. What a beautiful onward charge flicker to bring down TIT. And now Choco going in for the kill against Bronze. But Tito will bring down Ray, but he will sacrifice his own life for the 2 kills. Choco going in for the tower lock as the Philippines complete the GG push to secure the 3rd place in the RAZER Invitational Southeast Asia 2022. A clean sweep for a very clean team fight here for the Philippines. BK, what are your thoughts?
Oh dear. Wow, the Philippines on a rampage today, getting the clean sweep. And this is something actually that they wanted yesterday, but now with Toshi, Dockman. Did you see that final Earth Shatter coming in from Dockman? The flicker in onwards onto TIT. They know the biggest problem for this game will be TIT. I mean, they're already, they don't, it doesn't matter here for TNTK, Meow, and Bronze. They don't really have that much damage. They are just tanky at this moment. The only one who dishes out damage here is TIT and Joe. Therefore, with that final Earth Shatter coming in from Dockman, it really sealed the deal, and it was an almost wipeout for the Philippines, solidifying this game in the 15-minute mark. But I do have to congratulate our Philippines representatives for securing in the 3rd spot here in the Invitational. But we also have to give our hands up to the Vietnamese representatives as well for representing their country very, very well. They've had a spectacular run here in the Invitational. And guys, really come back stronger next time. But we already got a glimpse of what you can do, what more in the future, right? Wherein you already have all these knowledge, all these learnings. So yeah, it was such a treat to watch this game, and really the Hayabusa mid lane to the point that Vietnam actually banned that out. So it's really crazy. Anything goes really in the RAZER Invitational. But hopefully we get our in-game sounds fixed later on. But for now, you gotta bear with my in-game sounds, care of DK.
Pew, pew.
Pew pew shing shing. Well, it really sounds like that. It sounds like that.
Tempest of Blades will be popped. Shing shing.
It does. It really does sound like that. But hopefully we get that fixed. Yeah, once again, our production team is doing our very best to fix that. But later on, hopefully in the grand finals, we will be having our in-game sounds already in a best out of 5 between Thailand. Oh, sorry, not Thailand. It is Indonesia and Myanmar in a best out of 5. But after this, I believe we're going to be having a masterclass with Oh My Venus herself. So stay tuned for that. But Ingan, before we pass it on to Miss Aya Esmaria, any thoughts on the Philippines and Vietnam's run here so far?
The Philippines, we all know how resilient the Philippines are. They started out strong with a dominating 4-0 in the preliminaries. May have lost to Myanmar as well as a couple of other teams, but right now they've shown that the Philippines can always come back and bounce back stronger as long as we stand together. We have to give a lot of credit to Toshi's pew pew as well as Dockman's aggression. I mean, Flicker Earth Shatter combination or Flicker onward charge was more than enough to bring down a whole nation. But for Vietnam fans, it's still an amazing feat to reach this place, rather 4th place. I mean, among 10 countries, Southeast Asia. Not to be biased, but Southeast Asia is one of the best players here when it comes to Mobile Legends. So being considered in the top 10 is already an amazing feat, but actually finishing 4th against a dominating Philippines, no hard feelings, nothing to be ashamed of. You still performed well. I mean, come on. Among the top 10 teams, numerous games, who has the only savage here in the RAZER Invitational?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Vietnam,
Vietnam.
Joe. So that alone is hard to achieve. But Vietnam, you've achieved it. Joe won many hearts, especially in the whole Southeast Asia. So Vietnam, I expect you guys to have heads held up high because you guys are the only one with an amazing savage here in the RAZER Invitational Southeast Asia. But my final thanks and congrats to the Philippines for proving that resiliency is key to dominating in this RAZER Invitational.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they really killed it for this last match. They solidified their grasp on the game, ending it in less than 20 minutes. Virtually different from the results that we've seen in the previous games. But yeah, I have to agree with you. The Savage of Joe and of course the Philippines is dominating Rain in the first week of the Invitational was something that you guys have to watch out for. But these two teams, finally, we already have the results. PH 2-0 up against Vietnam. But of course, we still have more in store for you guys. But now we have to pass back the mic to Miss Aya Ezria. Your thoughts on the final game for this battle for the third place?
Pew pew. Good job. Commend to the casters for bringing life to the live broadcast, not only by analyzing the game and shoutcasting it, but the added effects, you know. Thank you for the sound effects when there was none. You really brought life out of the game. So, congratulations are in order for both of you, BK and Ian. Thank you so much for that. And, you know, Philippines might not have won against Indonesia yesterday during the semis, but still, congratulations are in order as Philippines stands at third place in the RAZER C Invitational in a best-of-3 match, taking a clean sweep against Vietnam here. I've already foresaw Philippines taking that win, no biases or anything, but only based on the performances that they have shown to us in the previous matches, in the previous days. But yet, agree also with BK and Ingen. Hats off to Vietnam for taking the fourth place, the only one to have taken a savage by Vietnam Joe in the entire tournament, which is still a huge win out of the, because this is fourth place out of the 10 regions, and not only just any 10 regions. These are behemoths. These are top tier performing teams around Southeast Asia, and you came out as a number 4 out of those top 10 representatives in the RAZER Invitational. So still hands down to doing such a great job, Vietnam. And now that we've seen what you can do, a glimpse of what other capabilities and abilities that you can show off to the world, there is no way but up for Vietnam, and of course for the Philippines. Congratulations, Philippines, for taking third place. Congratulations, Vietnam, for taking fourth on the other hand. And I think BK mentioned this earlier. If you want to be as great as, you know, Blacklist International or names that has names that made it there, you want to learn more from them, and you're an aspiring casual gamer, but then you want to become this next esports esports star, this is where you can start in the RAZER C Invitational. And with our coaching coming from different teams, yesterday I think we had Wise, and today, later at 5:30 p.m., we'll be having Oh My Venus to share to us some wisdom on how to become better in the game, to just level up what you already have. So again, that is 5:30 p.m. And of course, RAZER, because RAZER is so generous, we are giving away some cool merchandise for you, a RAZER phone cooler coma, a RAZER Kishi, and a bundle of all of that as giveaway to be announced today. I think you can still make it. I mean, you have nothing to lose if you try, right? Just go to Team RAZER Facebook page, comment in one of our posts, who do you think will win, and come out the grand champions here in the RAZER C Invitational. And it's just between Indonesia and Philippines right now, and we'll be picking out a lucky winner from one of you. And that's not all. We're also giving away a discount. You just have to use Invitational C 2022 right down below. It's below my name. You can gear up for your competition and gain the winning edge for mobile gaming. You can use this code upon checkout in the razer.com site. So that was a mouthful. A lot of things to say here. True, a lot of things going on, and still the action hasn't stopped because we still have the finals. That is Indonesia versus Myanmar. I am so excited, and I hope you guys are also feeling the same way as we are. Don't go away. We'll be preparing behind the scenes, and we'll see you back in 5 minutes.
it clap.
Rooftop party, we get naughty. Go, 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 go.
Make it clap.
Rooftop party to get naughty. Go, 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 go.